You'll see the real me. A disaster. The secrets that I keep locked like a monster.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Darkson Gaming. My name is Chris, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little different. I am actually going to go through and review Chapter 68 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. And typically on my channel, for those of you that may be new, I will go through and show gameplay for Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. But I did want to start doing some of the manga reviews, because I really enjoy just Dragon Ball in general. And I hope you guys like it. And we'll go ahead and get started here. So the manga starts off with some pretty interesting things. It shows a new planet that is going through and actually being attacked by Frieza's ships. And in this background and smoke, you can see the Ozaros, or the Saiyans in their monkey forms, going through and destroying the planet. And you just see this person that's kind of running through, and he's trying to just hide from the Saiyans. And then out of nowhere, you see one of the Saiyan Zoro heads come through the roof. And when you look at that head, you see the scar of Bardock. And that'll be very interesting in the future, I think, because obviously we've all seen the meme that Goku and Bardock are basically twins. So that'll be very interesting if whether or not the new character introduced, Granola, is actually been able to go through. So Granola is a new character. He's part of the Cerulean race. And he has actually gone through in the previous chapter and stole OG-73I, who is the one that Moro absorbed and was able to go ahead and cause so much trouble. So he's obviously got a lot of different information and things going on. But he's talking and he's going back and forth with his headpiece, which is Oatmeal, and he's just talking back and forth with him. And you find out that he really wanted revenge on Frieza and the Saiyans for what happened to the planet, but then they all died. So we thought. But that's where he's really concerned, and he's just talking about trying to figure out what's going on. But then it goes ahead and jumps over to Beerus' planet. On Beerus' planet, they're trying to grab the Oracle Fish, because the Oracle Fish is kind of frantic and can't sleep, and they want to give him some vitamins in order for him to be able to just kind of chill out and relax and go to sleep. Well, what happens is that they actually find out from Whis that the reason why he's so erratic is that it's like a premonition of doom. Something is going to be happening that's very bad, typically. And so obviously Goku's all excited because he thinks he's going to have another super strong enemy, and Beerus gets upset with him because of the fact that, hey, look, you got to stop. Like, you can't continue to be doing this kind of stuff. And even Vegeta's kind of on the side of Beerus, saying, you know, are you never going to learn? So they go back, and then they start showing on what's going to happen between Whis and Goku in his full UI state. So they get into a fight, they go at it, and right away Goku jumps up in the air, and then you start seeing him use the multi-form technique, or after image technique, to go and attack Whis, and Whis easily just dispatches him. I mean, you can tell he just doesn't care, and then out of nowhere he flies up into the air and beats Goku down. And Goku really was kind of surprised because he thought that was going to work. And then Goku makes an interesting Whis makes an interesting reference when he turns around and says, you know, you have to find your own style. You just can't copy me. So there has to be something that he's trying to go through and learn. But throughout the battle, you find out that you actually have Goku's like at the bottom tier list. He's basically a bottom UI user level, and Beerus had some understanding of it, but then you jump through and find out that Whis officially was much stronger, or much better, or more in tune with the technique of Ultra Instinct, and then even the Grand Priest is higher than that. So Goku's got a huge learning curve ahead of him. But then there's a very, very interesting conversation that goes down, into which Beerus asks Vegeta whether or not he's going to be going for Ultra Instinct, and he's like, no, that's not my style. I'm going to find a different way to go ahead and go about it. And Beerus, when they're talking, Vegeta actually starts off that conversation by asking whether or not Whis is in Ultra Instinct, and we get confirmation that angels are always in Ultra Instinct, so you can't sneak up on an angel. They are just going to pound you. So then he goes through, and as they continue their conversation with Vegeta and Beerus, you actually find out that there are other techniques of the gods, and the big thing is because they talk about Ultra Instinct being a level that you need to have your heart and everything needs to be calm and pure, and that's just not a god of destruction. So god of destructions have some other things, and he tells Vegeta is just begging him to get this information, and Beerus just simply tells him, hey, it's not my job to train you. You know, I'm going to go and exercise in order to wake up. And you just see him kind of walking away, but then it's very interesting. Beerus turns her back around and says, if you see anything you want, feel free to steal it, with that being bold. And it's pretty interesting because some people think that, okay, well, does that mean he's going to go and fight or try to learn? I think what you're seeing here, and this is, you know, the way that I'm reading this, I think this could be the beginning of God of Destruction Vegeta. He could basically take the same path that Topo took, where he is going to go through and learn how to do things, and it fits his character perfect. I mean, I've always kind of wondered if the best thing for Vegeta is to almost take that God of Destruction path, Goku taking the Angel path, and imagine a Xenoverse down the road with Angel Goku and God of Destruction Beerus. I mean, it could be a very, very interesting thing. But when you actually go through and look at it, it really kind of makes you seem like, hey, no, Vegeta's going to go learn some of these techniques, possibly the Hakai, possibly some different things. He knows the spirit fission. It'll be very interesting to see how the development of his character comes. And there's going to be an important thing at the end of this manga chapter that I also want to point out. And then it goes back to Granola, and the rest of the chapter is all about Granola. And you find out that he's actually like a bounty hunter, and he's going to go in and turn in his bounty hunt. And this is very much like the Mandalorian type thing, or going on with Star Wars, Boba Fett, a very similar aspect. Toriyama very much likes Star Wars, so he likes to incorporate some of that stuff into his manga sometimes. And we've seen references to this before. But pretty much what happens from this standpoint is he goes in, he meets another bounty hunter who wants him to split his profits with him. He says, no, get lost. And then he sits there and he starts talking to a new group of villains called the Heaters. And these guys, their names are Alec, Gas, Oil. I can't think what the other guy's name is right now, but they go through and they're trying to figure out, you know, hey, what's this thing with 7-3? You know, they say, okay, excellent, that's the bounty we wanted. We'll pay you a lot of money, and they are basically praising Granola about how great of a job that he did. But then they make a comment that they don't have any other work for him because Frieza is back, and that instantly fires up Granola. He's just like, what? He's like, I have a chance at revenge, and he really wants to know where Frieza at. He immediately wants to go and destroy Frieza. And Alec is just sitting there telling him, saying, no, you know, like, I'm not going to give you this information, and you need to go away. Well, Granola goes to storm him, and immediately Gas just takes him down. And you find out from that point that they're telling him, hey, look, you know, everything in the world right now, or everything in the universe, revolves around money and knowledge, or intel, information. And he tells them that those are the two things that run the universe. So if you want to turn around and become more powerful, you have to essentially determine a plan, gather some intel, figure out what you're going to do, and then actually have a chance to be able to take him down. And from there, Granola really makes the decision that, okay, I'm gonna find a way to be able to go and take down Frieza. But then there's another conversation afterwards that all the Heaters sit there and talk about, and they basically are saying that they're feeding him to Frieza because they're afraid of how powerful he might become, that one day he could actually become more powerful than Gas. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that all plays out. And the look of these new characters are pretty interesting. It's almost kind of like when I first saw it, I saw a lot of aspects of Dragon Quest. So just the way that they looked, and really kind of seemed like, you know, I thought that was a cool new look that you're kind of bringing some of Toriyama's work in together there. But then Granola goes ahead and takes off, and then you find out that he's actually gets ambushed by the bounty hunter that was sitting there saying, hey, look, I'm going to take your, I want to split the bounty with you. He turns around and is like, no, I'm just going to take you out, and I'm just going to beat everything. So You see a little thing go through, and you see Granola land on an asteroid, and they sit there and they are having a conversation, and Granola, you can see a voice is calling in for him from inside his ship saying, okay, fine, you can go ahead and come in, I'll give you half the bounty, whatever. So when they go into the ship, you realize that it's just a headpiece, it's just oatmeal. And Granola's outside, and he just snipes all the guys. And the last one is the bounty hunter, and he turns around and he's just like, hey, look, I'm sorry, my bad, here's my pocket change, and just go ahead and go from that point, you know, just leave me alone. So he takes off. Well, then you turn around and find out that Granola finally realizes that he is not strong enough in order to be able to take out Frieza, because he actually missed, because he was trying to kill all of them. And he realized, okay, look, I'm not strong enough, I need to become stronger. And an interesting thing is the little headpiece that Granola is wearing, you find out that the Cerulean's right eyes are extremely keen to being able to see and snipe people. So this could be pretty interesting. I think there's going to be something that goes on with him. You don't really get the impression that he's necessarily a bad guy, but he's a guy that he wants revenge, which, you know, revenge typically leads people down the wrong path. So pretty interesting there. But the very last panel, it actually shows the Oracle Fish, and he's talking in his sleep. And what he's going through and saying is, Universe 7, the balance is shifting. Strongest warrior in the universe will soon rise up. Now, I've heard some different translations onto this, because obviously it's being translated from Japanese over to English or other languages. I think this chapter was really good. I think they did a very good job of turning around and saying, hey, look, this is kind of the groundworks for this. This is going to be the Granola, the survival arc, and we're going to get some interesting things kind of going on with it. So that last panel where they talk about it, the strongest warrior will rise up, I think that is a premonition for a lot of things. Does that mean Goku is going to become even stronger? That he is starting his path of raising up the ranks of angels? Then you sit there in the same on planet Beerus, you sit there and wonder, okay, is it Beerus or Vegeta? Because this is the first time we've ever seen Beerus ever make a comment about, like, well, I'm going to go exercise, I'm going to go train. You know, everybody keeps having this conversation, oh, well, Beerus is training off screen and he's going through. He may finally have realized that, okay, look, these guys are just going. I need to do something. So it could be that he finally is fed up and he's just going to become more powerful. And then you also have Vegeta, same thing. Hey, he could turn around and become the next one that's going to be more powerful. And then the subtle, I guess, obvious choice that's not so subtle is that it's going to be Granola. The Granola at some point is going to come through, have some type of power that's going to say, hey, look, I have the ability to become better, which kind of makes you wonder, are the Ceruleans possibly related to Saiyans? I mean, you know, yes, we always see different people that try to rival the Saiyans, but I mean, to sit there and say that the strongest universe or the strongest warrior is going to rise up is a very powerful statement. And to make that determination, people have just, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, what does that actually mean? And then you also throw in some complete oddballs of, is it Golden Frieza? Is he really the strongest? Is he going to be rising up and doing some things? Is it one of the heaters? Are one of them going to end up being the strongest? Could this be the return of Broly? I mean, he's a Saiyan. He's kind of involved in all this. They're going to have to figure out what's going on. The other complete off-ball thing is it's the translation of, it's a brand new person. Someone that we haven't seen yet, someone we haven't met yet is going to be coming. So very interesting, very ominous, and a pretty cool chapter. I liked it. I mean, one thing that I definitely enjoyed Dragon Ball manga. I enjoyed the anime, obviously, and the games. But I really like this episode, or this chapter. I think this is something that is going to really go in the right direction. We've seen this a lot, to where Toyotaro goes through and says, hey, we're going to head down a path. We're going to make you guys, you know, like moral arc. We're going to bite into you. We're going to get you all set, ready to go. And then it fizzles. So hopefully we might see something a little bit different, but we'll wait and see. the important thing is that the journey started. It's going to be all set. It's going to be ready to go, and pretty exciting. So that's it. That's my video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So please, any feedback down in the comments below, make sure you guys let me know. And then also, give me some thumbs ups if you guys like this kind of stuff. I will continue to do it, and maybe even get into some different what ifs and some interpretations on some things that I'm seeing, and maybe expand upon that a little bit more. But otherwise, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell so you're notified every single time I'm uploading a new video. But that's it. That's today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll talk to you guys later.